Right to rock. How's it going, everybody? This is episode 24 of the G&T show. Back again for another episode, and our guest here, Pierce O Leary. How are you keeping?
How we doing, bud?
All good, lads. All good.
All good.
Touch wood, this Wi-Fi sticks.
It is actually take two, yeah.
I kind of feel I should have really introduced Tony. I have Tony here to my left as well. It's not just the G show, it's G&T, yeah. How's it going on, Leary?
I'm to your right on my screen, so it's all
yeah, how you keeping, man? You all right?
I'm all good, yeah. Shape the head.
So if anyone doesn't know, obviously Pierce is a professional boxer. He's a Dublin lad like ourselves, and he's really coming up through the ranks in boxing. And again, we pride ourselves on this podcast. We pride ourselves on trying to kind of build people and kind of get to know people a bit more, and really promote all the local lads and try get their story and try and motivate people off it. Kind of what it's been like since the start, and it'll probably never change. So obviously Pierce has a boxing background, and he's going to get into a story from start to finish as always. So Pierce, tell us from the beginning, how did this journey start for you?
Yeah, as I said before, lads, I've been through many sports. Football, as you walk around up in the schools, you always want to play football with the lads. Done a bit of Gaelic here and there. Never really competed as much though. And then obviously being from an inner city, then growing up around bikes, smaller bikes, had a few scramblers myself. So they were the kind of things I done, you know, a bit wild, but those are the kind of things I done. And yeah, listen, I walked by a boxing gym one time, just heard everyone roaring, bags, chains, swinging. I was like, so I had a quick peep in, you know, and that was it. As soon as I opened the door and looked in, I was like, what the fuck, what's going on there? So obviously the trainer come down to me there and asked, what am I doing? So I said, no, I'm just having a look. He said, you're not allowed to have a look, you have to join. So I said, yeah, cool, are you back? So next day I went back anyways. And told him my age, grand. As I said before, I think it was 10 for the last 3 years. I think he found out the truth when I had to go and do a weigh-in for the leagues. And so they sent to give me the blue form, sent it all out, whatnot, grand, filled it all out with the doctor, brought it back. And when I brought it back the way in, I realised I was bleeding 2 years too young. So they're like, fuck's sake. You told us we were 10. So ever since that, like, I think I showed so much commitment back then, wanted to join. I think getting refused actually built me. Like, right now, I'm coming back. I'm knocking at that door again. So I think just getting refused and then getting in there then and then fully committing then, that's when you're like, listen, leave him there. He's not bothering anyone, you know. And I was working hard, doing my own thing, never missed. And then just went on from there, then just snowballed, you know, I just worked hard and then the results started showing and fights and sparring.
What was the gym, the boxing club you went
to? Boxing gym was Dublin Docklands.
Dublin Docklands, yeah, as we know.
Look, then we have Emmett Brennan as well, that like Olympian who was there last summer. He was in that gym as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Emmett, he only joined the gym there about 2 years ago.
Is it a big gym? Would there be many members?
Yeah, it would be a big gym, yeah. It's a real old school gym, to be fair.
Right.
That's what you probably get that, like, because you probably get a lot of people from the inner city and all that in that gym as well. So you kind of would see a bit of a big base, like unlike us Northside Head. I think about 4 people in Coolock do boxing.
Yeah, it depends, you know what I mean? The further you're out, the less fight you're gonna have. Do you know what I mean? It just with me growing up, from my experience in the inner city, like, everyone had to fight. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you could fight and you could throw digs and you went into the boxing gym, you started doing well in fights, then you're like kind of hooked you on a little bit, you know. So
yeah,
listen, you're in the inner city, do you know what I mean? So you have to keep your hands up and just keep on going.
Would there been many of your mates from the area been in the Docklands boxing club?
Yeah, well, I had a few mates, but they kind of just drifted off, you know. They went into one of my good mates Sean Whelan, he was with me for a long time, and then a few others like Ola. But me and Sean, he was just a couple of months older than me, but it was the year Ola, and me and him, we were always in competition and stuff like that. And then he got to a certain level in school where he was like, I'm kind of taking it back off box now. I'm going to focus more on the skill part of it. And the kid got serious honours and whatnot in his leaving cert, you know, and went to Belvedere and whatnot. He went to Belvedere School and went on to college, like.
Yeah.
But with me, I was just like, as a young age, I just saw boxing. I was like, John, my boxing is my way out. This is what I want to do for my life. You know what I mean? It was that grit and hunger. I don't know what it was. I think it was different than a few other kids, you know? Like,
And
it was, I done it the hard way, if you know what I mean. I done it the hard way.
But that's what I mean. That's kind of what I say. I'm kind of rewinding back a bit, just kind of referring to the inner city. I feel like the society, they paint a lot of like the inner city, the group in the inner city, like they paint them all with the same brush, and they see them all as, oh, these lads just go around in scramblers and they all go across weeks.
Yeah.
The people who have dealt with the inner city, the people who have had on the podcast, we've had a couple of lads from the inner city, nothing but nice. You know what I mean? Even dealing with yourself, even communicating with you, nothing but nice. You know what I mean? And that's again another problem with society.
Listen, just the media, you just want to show what they want to show. Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, you've got to judge the inner city. You've got to go and be like
Experience
be here. Do you know what I mean? Experience a bad part. Experience a good part. And you know where you stand and judge. You can't just. It's like reading the news, mate. You don't know what's going on behind the other side of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just hearing the bad story.
And that's going back as well. Me and Tony, right? We went to Barcelona. We ran a marathon there in May, and we bumped into the inner city running club into the group, and they're all like nothing but nice things to say about them. Do you know what I mean? Inviting us out to their nightclub and all, fucking nothing but nice.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I've done a half marathon with those. I think it was before during COVID or before COVID. I don't know when it was. With my auntie, she was heavily involved in the run back then. And listen, I got to the finish line, and I wasn't expecting. I just jumped in halfway in the marathon. I was like, oh, half marathon. I was like, yeah, listen, I'll jump in. So I kind of pushed, like, more than a few mates, like, you know. So I was like, I'm running with a bunch of women here, so I take off or I stay behind. I was like, I didn't really want to let my auntie down, you know. I wanted to like stay and make sure she finished because it was a massive, big, huge step for her. So I got to the finish line. Listen, I was just expecting a line and that was it, like, you know. There was gangs, like loads was there. People had Lucasades, Snickers, load of stuff to refuel up on. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I wasn't expecting, do you know what I mean? But listen, that's just when something goes well, everyone jumps on and makes it a lot better, you know.
And that's what I mean. And then it's going back to the same brush, like I said, we bumped into the group in the inner city, about fucking 50 of them, and they're all bleeding.
Some community, unbelievable.
And it's going back to the point where why does the media paint them all with the same brush? But again, that's another episode to kind of go into. But continuing on with your boxing, so obviously after you were 10, you competed in the leagues. How did you progress on from there through your teenage years?
Yeah, I just went on. It's won the leagues. I won the County Dublins, won the All Irelands, and that was it. I just got picked to fight for Ireland in the European Championships, and being on the back end of bad decisions then, and kept growing, not my own, kept growing, and my last year, which was 2019, before I made my pro debut, it was in March. I was in Vladivostok in Russia, and I've been beaten on a split decision, which I thought I got. Put the guy down. He never got a standing count, nothing like that. And listen, I never got it, so I was screwed, and that was it. I was done with amateur boxing then. Literally was done. And luckily enough, I had my amateur coach, Philip. He was in my corner over there. And he saw how pissed off I was. Like, he even said to me, what do you want to do? So I said, listen, it's either that or walk away from sport. And I knew quite well deep down, me and him, there was no way I was going to walk away from sport. Yeah. So I said, listen, I'm going pro, and that's it. And he's like, yeah, cool, yeah. So he supported me in that decision, and then that was it. Like, just went on from there again.
See, in your in your amateur career, was what was the record overall?
To be honest with you, I actually don't know, because I've seen on you see in a box rec there's only like a couple, like 30, and then 4 losses or something like that. Then on my red book then, which is your record book, it's like, I think it was, what was it, 97 and 6 or 97 or 7 or something like that. And then I see on the internet, then it was like 150 and then 10. So I was like, what?
Where's it coming from? Yeah.
Well, I probably would have having about 140, 150 fights anyways. But that's like as kids and club hall shows and stuff like that, you know. So, yeah, listen, doesn't really go. I don't really go with record anyways, you know. A real champion doesn't look at his record. Just gets in there and does the job.
Good way of looking at it, exactly. Yeah. I'm going back, we referred to this before, we were chatting about this with amateur and kind of split decisions and the whole politics around it. Why do you feel like, see, like you were getting screwed out of lost, like we've seen Mick Conlon obviously getting robbed out in the Olympics. Why do you feel like that is the case? Why there's so much politics involved?
Mate, it's corruption. No, it's corruption. It's like they come from a poor country, so if they can get a backhander, save the day, feed the family, why not?
Yeah.
You know? So I don't think listen, it's not, as we said before, it's not only in boxing, it could be in running, it could be in,
it's only because we watch it, as we said before.
Cricket. It's in all sports, but we just know it because we watch boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You watch any other sport, it might be happening there also, you know. So I don't really pay too much attention to it.
You could talk all day about the subject.
Yeah, it's not the kind of subject it is, you know. You never get bored about that, you wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, so obviously after the amateur career, you jumped to pro. You're currently 9-0 now. How did you find the difference in training was between jumping from amateur to professional? Did you have to train more, or did you have to commit more, or was it always kind of there?
Oh, my commitment was always there. The hard work, sacrifice, everything was always there, you know. So that wasn't the difficult part. The difficult part was making the transition from Ireland to the UK. That was the hardest.
That's what a lot of people wonder why. How did you go about that? Going from, did you just get up and then start moving, or how did you plan about it?
No, listen, certain things happen in life, you know what I mean? So I trained with my amateur coach for, what was it? For 3 fights, and then we went from there. Then, you know, we split up and we went to the UK and just played and just grabbed from in the UK. Like, you know, it was lonely, it was tough, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me, maybe, because it showed me a lot more in the pro game where we hadn't got that experience back home. So being around pros so long, being around pro coaches who were in the sport for nearly 25, 30 odd years, yeah, gaining knowledge in everything, business, the money part of it, how much fights are worth, what sort of titles, what roadmaps. It just goes on and on and on, you know. Where back home, we never had that. I never saw the other side of it. You know, I never really saw the other side of it whatsoever. I just thought it was boxing.
You think that what the issue is? A lack of pros in Ireland? Yeah,
definitely. I couldn't stress about that much, you know. So like even coming over to the UK, and even though I was fit, like I was doing 6 rounds, I was blown. I'd probably blown in the 4th, you know, because it was just more so hard. It was a hard pace back home in Ireland, where in the UK it was more slow things down, look them, judge them, sit in the ropes, tie them up, get your breather. It's just the small little things that make the walk
more
sense,
tactical,
you know?
would it? More tactical.
Yeah, listen, it's just stuff that you don't learn back home, you know. And then and just going from there again, that was it. like even training back home, it was kind of a bit of a distraction because we'd be walking on the road to go to train at 3 o'clock. You might bump into some at 3. You could be there talking to 3:15, 3:20 about fights, and you get to the gym. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was more so. That was another obstacle I had to get over and step aside from.
That was a big thing you said. Obviously, we weren't recording last week. It didn't work out well, obviously, single. But you said last week you are in there, you're driven. You know what's what. You have everything ordered the way you wanted it over there at the moment.
Yeah, that is it. Like, you know, like, listen, things are straightforward here. There's no distractions. There's literally no distractions whatsoever. I'll go to the gym, come home, make my dinner. So I grew up wherever time I want to grow up at. Could be 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, doesn't matter what time. I'm in the gym by 3:30, 4:30. I train, home, dinner, run, back out on the road then, train, and come back home, have a little bit of tea, into bed then. Do you know what I mean? So I'm getting up in my own routine. Like, I'm on a strict scale. I believe in routine. Having a routine sets you free, but the routine I'm in is kind of different to the routine I would have back home, you know? So like, rather getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning back home with my kid and the missus will they're going to work, she's got to work and she's got to school, I can stay in bed over here. I can let the body rest a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying
it's your routine. It's not working on anyone else. It's you.
Exactly. It's not going to work with anyone else. I've got to be on my own doing this. So if I'm with her, say, if I'm training at 7 o'clock that night, by 6 o'clock, I'm wrecked. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to go train then. I'm probably sitting up, drag myself to train, not looking forward. We're here, I'm buzzing going train.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So obviously the record speaks in itself. So you moved over here now. Now you're 9-0 now, going on to your 10th fight now on the 16th of July. That is staying, of course, we'll be keeping a close eye. So do you find your career would have played out differently if you didn't move over to the UK? Do you find your opponents in that?
Is it harder to find fights if you were to stay pro over here?
No, because you'd be like, I was under the one management, so wherever fights they sent over, they would have done the exact same as well. Do you know what I mean?
Regardless of where you were, yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter, mate. You know, it doesn't matter whatsoever. But I wouldn't have, to be honest, I wouldn't have developed as much, John. I wouldn't have developed as much as I did as I am now, because at the end of the day, like Philip, me old coach, like, he has a full-time job and he has to feed his family, so he couldn't fully commit to me.
Yeah.
And still run an amateur gym as well, also. Do you know what I mean? So it just benefits so many people in with me just coming here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird one, mate. It's weird, but listen, it is what it is. And I'm, as I said, we could come over here with nothing, and here I am now with nothing but good people around me, and people looking up to me and giving back to the community as well. So listen, I'm happy, you know. I really, really am happy. I'm just not. I'm not happy enough to settle.
You're happy. You're not satisfied. You're happy, but you're not satisfied.
Exactly.
And see, go on, Glenn.
Just going back, obviously we're talking about your fighting career and stuff like that. We touched on it last week, go be repetitive with ourselves. We're just talking about your weight in general and the weight cut. So what weight do you fight at, and what's the weight cut like?
The weight I fight at is 63.5, which is super lightweight, and which is light welterweight in America. What you say?
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I walk around at 72 kilo, 8 kilo the cut. Listen, it's easy. Do you know what I mean? It's easy. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's easy. Like sometimes I have to. Sometimes I've actually had to have a cheat day because it might come too late. You know, so if I have a cheat day then, which is Saturday, maybe once a week or whatever like that, probably up the calories by an extra 8,000 calories a day. So, and then back on it again next day. But listen, it's cool. Really, you train hard, you burn so much calories, and listen, you burn all your calories when you're resting. So when you're resting, that's when you feel hungry and you're feeling tired then and whatnot. But well, the weight cut is fine, totally fine.
You see with your current calories now, what would be
Yeah.
yours now throughout? Just say 4 weeks before the fight or 5 weeks before the fight. What would your calories
But
be?
8 weeks before the fight, I start at 1850 calories a day.
Right. And then as you
Now,
come into it, which way would it cut down?
as you come into it, to the last week, I stick to 1850, and on the last 4 or 5 days beforehand, then I'll just start cutting the food in the low sodium, and then start drinking a little bit of water, and then that's it. Then just flush it all the body out, literally right out.
And you have a man who looks after all that for you, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What's it?
You have a man who looks after all your nutrition and
I
stuff.
have Carl. Yeah, I've got Carl Evans on board. He looks at me, and he's a doctor. And I swear to God, he's in the John Moore University, and the fella is special. Literally, I don't stress no more. I used to stress all the time about weight, wear the sweatsuit and trying to get the weight on me, but it's only all water. Where, listen, I'll throw a sweatsuit on probably the night before if needed. Do you know what I mean? If needed, pretty much down to. It's just, he's worth every penny. Takes all the stress on me.
That's a day the people that go unrecognised, don't they?
Listen. Without him, like with him, he's an extra 3-4% to me, maybe even more. Joe. So that's the edge I have in another fighter. He's not recovering the way. He's not cutting weight the way I'm cutting weight. He's not refueling the way I'm refueling. Do you know what I'm saying? So having him around me is just so much motivation.
You see, would he be there from the start of camp, or would he only come in for the cut?
No. He was there right from the start. Yeah, right from the start. So every morning, send him away. He'll run me through the day. How am I feeling tired, whatnot, have this, have that. And then if that needs to be, if it's a bit close, or saying with other fighters, if things are a bit close and it's not looking good, he just adjusts his little stuff in your diet and just helps everyone. Mate, it's hard to explain.
It's a 24-hour gig.
Easily.
Yeah, that's crazy, because you do see weight cutting. And you see a lot of negative things on it. Like I'm not really sure about boxing, what way they put to work. That's why I was fascinated to hear about yourself. But you see in MMA, cunts are out cutting fucking 20 kilos and diving into a sauna for the whole day. Do you know what I mean? Which is, that can't be right for you. Do you know what I mean?
I think you pay for what you get.
It's you get the weight up, no problem, but you won't be the same fighter. That's it.
You see that, like, you see when people who are drained from fucking weight cuts, they might get dropped from shots that they probably wouldn't get as bad with fucking if they done a normal weight cut, or if they didn't complete themselves that much. They say it affects their chin. That I've read about it before, which is crazy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
so many cons with it. Small cons and pros, I'll tell you that.
Would you ever consider dropping down a weight class or going up a weight class in the future?
Yeah, I would drop down now. I'm filling out nicely in my weight class now. I'm very big for the weight, so feels good. I'm holding this weight now nearly 4 or 5 years. Actually 5 or 6 years maybe. And I'm filling out much bigger. But the way I used to make it back in the amateurs, I wouldn't be able to make it now. And that's why I have that special person on board, which is Carl. I'll make it like with a breeze with him, And so yeah, eventually win a couple of titles of this, defend them, and then move up then.
Going back to your first fight, Pierce, you give people a little bit of an insight on it. Obviously, it's not the full amount of rounds. What is the story with the first fight? How did that come about, and what was your thoughts on it when you got the call for it? And where was it?
Well, we had a date. For the 11th of October, and yeah, that was my pro debut. Told everyone 11th of October, and they all booked hotels and stuff. They booked buses from Dublin all the way up to Belfast, and then I think we had 2 opponents pulled out, and we got the last opponent in on that week, not mistaken. And we took him and went the distance. It was and he fought his last fight. That guy fought for the European title. So for me, making the debut against the guy who's at the point there for his last fight for the European title, which he lost anyways. But that's the kind of level he was at. I went in there and made look easy. Do you know what I mean? I was still young. obviously with the same amateur background, just I didn't know how to adjust through the rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just thought, like 4 rounds, I'm gonna whack him, I'm gonna get him over here, which it wasn't like that at all. And if it went another couple of seconds in that last round, I would have stopped him. But obviously it wasn't enough. It was only 4 rounds. So yeah, I went the distance, and then we just went on again. Then again, back out in 4 weeks' time in Scotland in the Emirates Stadium for another guy. We went distance again with him. He was a runner. That fight was so boring. I didn't even enjoy it, to be honest with you. I was sick of chasing. I wasn't even tired. I was tired in the last round because I was chasing. I was like, what are you running for, you know? So listen, if he got stopped, he wouldn't be able to fight for another couple of weeks, which he was set out with money then, you know. So it'd be listen, they're a journeyman. That's what they're for. Survive next week, you fight again. Do you know what I mean? Survive next week on. So listen, he knew his job. He's a great journeyman. He knew how to survive. So when I look back now at it, I was like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And they're great learning fights. Brilliant.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They're 2 different opponents. You went the full distance and you still won. So you're only going to gain from it. Yeah,
listen, they know their job. They know the job better than me. You know what I'm saying? But with me still winning, like they brought me on in another level where I didn't know I had. Or I didn't know I had to work on something. So yeah, and then the tour fight then in Bolton, there was another guy, journeyman, he wanted to come and fight. And left hook on top of the head, man, knocked him clean out.
Saying that one. I was saying that one. That was I wouldn't like to start on the nightclub, put it that way. I wouldn't like to bump into you. I was saying that one. I was like, what the fuck is that? Just rapping. But going to your fight now on the 16th July. So who are you fighting? How are you fixed? And how's the preparation going?
Yeah, it's going great. It's flying. I'm in tip-top shape. Just recovering. I had a rest day today. So yeah, it's going great. But other than that, the opponent we're actually struggling for a pound because I'm meant to be fighting for the WBC.
Sorry, bro. I think you have your finger just on the mic.
Can you hear me now?
There you go, yeah.
I said we're struggling for an opponent because it's for the WBC Youth World title, and you can only fight someone under the age of 23 and 10 months for that. So it's very hard to get the correct opponent from, you know. So in the meantime,
what's the story that 23 years and 10 months?
That's just the title. That's just the title, which is good. It's a good title to win, where you can win the world title. That's at any age then. Do you know what I mean? So, but winning the WBC youth, it'll still rank you up closer. So it's a good title to win. But yeah, we'll get an opponent in the next couple of days, I'd say. And other than that, then I'm on a massive big card and bleeding buzzing for it.
What's the training camp looking like from start to, like, I know you probably can't go into too much detail, but
just sparring, train hard, up the bags, up the pads, 10, 12 rounds of pads, bags. Probably not even. Don't need it. With my coach, all trainers are more like, do you want to smash it, you know? But with our trainers like Al, Ed, Paul, and stuff like that, they're like, no, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. You kind of hold your back. And I just got annoyed one time. I was like, I want to train, you know, I want to get fit. And he said, you are fit. You don't want to overdo it. Because if you overtrain, you won't find it on the night. But if you undertrain, you'll find somehow to find it on the night. And then I was just like, it just clicked then. I was like, yeah, he's actually bang on, you know? So the most important thing is not to overtrain, because you're just going to get down on a slope constantly rather than resting it. You're going to be up and down, you know what I mean? And on the night, you could be up. That's the thing.
What's the weight train like? I seen you on your side your day. You're doing the deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts.
Yeah, that's just a strength conditioning. I just do that. I brought strength conditioning into my workout, into my training regime back in 2017 with a guy called Paul Turner from Cabra, and head coach at CP Fitness, and he just right from the get-go, he changed my whole perspective of it. You know, changed my whole perspective of calories, food intake. I used to be scared of carbs. I used to be scared to drink water. Just the shit that you hear about people would say who don't know fitness. Do you know what I mean? I don't eat carbs. They're bad for you. They're gonna gain fat. You know, now I'm obsessed with carbs. I love carbs. Hey, I'll have laden grams of rice or lumps of rice, pasta. You know what I mean? That's the benefits of getting out with training with them. I'll drink 4 or 5 litres of water a day. And I'll still wake up next morning and I'll be probably lighter than I was the day before. That's just causing not overeating my calorie intake. So listen, it just he changed the game for me altogether. And then I haven't had any serious injuries, touch wood, no serious injuries since I've been with him. I used to have problems with shin splints, shoulders, backs, nothing since really.
It's crazy, but food is a big thing now. Like Anto here beside us, he's a PT. You don't want to get him to go off on a tangent about carbs and all that low calorie stuff.
I just think it's absolutely. I just think it's appalling the way people are with it. You know, like
it's bollocks, and it's more the older generation than anything else.
And then I'm seeing people on this keto diet, and then you're seeing people on plant-based diet, and then
wankers.
I just try to not even get into it, you know what I mean? I just try to say, yeah, do what you want to do,
yeah.
And I just do my own thing, you know.
Don't forget Slim and Wolf.
So, there was a time when I was when I was with Paul, and that was going back 2019, 20 or something like that. I'm not sure when it was. It was Game Changers only came out, you know. Watched it. Rang him next morning. I said, mate, I'm gonna go vegan, yeah. And he just started laughing at me. He said, you must have watched that Game Change, did you? Yeah. I said, yeah. He just hung up the phone. I was up training the next day. I went up the next day. And we just started laughing. And he said, you need to give your head a wobble. So anyways, he talked me through it. And that was it. During. So having him.
Schwarzenegger, who's eating meat all his life and injecting, saying all he ate was plants.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, and then he got 250 grand just to say that.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's it. Like even with having Paul, like he's a massive asset to me, massive asset. Throughout my career since he's been with me, you know what I mean? Or like he's a bleeding gentleman, fella is great, does everything for me, and picks up the phone, makes sure everything's all good and whatnot. Well, he doesn't need it, you know what I mean? But he does, and he reaches out to me. I think it's more of a closer bond than it was, you know. So yeah, as I said, strength and conditioning. Paul Turner changed me right from the start.
That's good. What is the plan for the future? What is your goal in mind? What's the goal?
Goal in mind, I just want to be a world champion, multiple weight classes. Don't want to ever walk again. I want to have freedom. And what I mean, I don't want to walk again. I don't want to be on a site. I don't want to be on any of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, listen, that's for them, or that's not for me. Do you know what I mean? That's why I look at it. Do you know what I mean? That's just for people. They feel satisfied and feel fulfillment by laying bricks. I know serious brickies out there, and to be honest with you, I'm no word of a lie. Hey, I actually find it, like, I do follow them on Instagram, and I find the artwork of laying a brick. Hey, it's
them and Chippies. Do you ever see the videos that Chippies make as well?
It's incredible. I'm like, people can actually do it.
To watch.
That's what I'm saying. Very satisfying. And I look forward to seeing the end project. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But listen, I couldn't go and do a scalpel, whatnot, things like that. I just now some people have to, but I just believe I gave so much to the sport of boxing. It's going to return me somehow or another, you know, soon enough. So listen, I'll just keep on grabbing, win those world titles, and then I think get into real estate then after.
It's a good plan.
What's Frank Warren like?
Yeah, he's an absolute gentleman.
He seems it when you hear him speak on TV, is he?
Yeah, he's a gentleman, yeah. We've got a close associate to me who's good friends with him, and I've heard great things about him. Do you know what I mean? I've seen the lads in the gym also being treated good by him. So we spoke to so many people, and which is all good offers and stuff like that. But Frank came up with the best and the best roadmap. So went with Frank Warden.
Is there many pros in your gym? Actually, never asked that in the one you're at the moment. Is there many pros in it?
It's only a pro gym. It's a
It
pro
isn't
gym.
really.
Yeah, it's only a pro gym. No amateurs, nothing like that. So many pros. I think there's about 10 or 12.
Do you know how many pro gyms there is only in Ireland? Or is there even any? It's just pro only.
I don't know how many there is. I think there's like 3 or 4 in Belfast, one in Dublin, a couple in Dublin. I just don't know, mate. To be honest, I actually never looked at it.
That's crazy, isn't it, though, the difference?
My boy, listen, I love London, you know what I mean? I can't see myself living in Dublin for much longer. I think London is the spot for me. I just think it's the American dream and the European, if you get me.
Yeah, I get you. I understand what you mean.
It's the European dream, not the American dream. So there's so many connections, there's so many people. You don't know who you're meeting. You're meeting people who are billionaires, millionaires, and it's just opportunities that you don't get back home. And you're being treated the same. Do you know what I mean? And they want to try and excel you like along the way and help you and give you a much voice and stuff like that. Where the stuff will cost thousands to get a voice from, but they give you it for nothing. Do you know? And listen, where I am now and the mindset I'm in, I'm just so happy and grateful.
If you could pick one venue, what venue would it be you want to fight in your career?
Oh, Kroger. It's only spot. Kroger.
I would have thought you would have said Madison Square Garden, to be honest, but I actually didn't even think of Kroger.
Listen, Madison Square Gardens, I could fight there next year. I mean,
True, yeah.
It's a good thing, but bring the blade and fight back home to me town, Kroger. Listen, I look at me back window and there it is there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
90,000 odd people there. Fucking hell, man, thing be chaos.
Be some buzz, wouldn't it?
You know what I mean? But hopefully I get a fight back in the Tri Arena, hopefully sometime soon.
Do they do boxing matches?
Sorry?
Do they do boxing in the Tri Arena? I know they do the blade in MMA, but do they do boxing?
Yeah. Listen, if you can get a good card and a good fight, good title on the line, and you can sell it out, well then there'll be no problem there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even with the Bellator, I've been to all the Bellator shows, they have scrap people on. Like there's been case where even some like they only sell out because there's Irish people, but the rest of the card is fucking scrap. Do you know what I mean? Like if you got an Irish title fight, especially if you were to sell out, you're from the inner city, you have a big following. You have a big following here. Nobody would sell that out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, I'd sell the goods of 1,000, 1,200 tickets, and that's now. So imagine what it'd be like having a title on the line for it. I could sell probably nearly 2,000-3,000 tickets, maybe.
Oh, 100%.
Easy.
Yeah.
You know, so listen, that's down the line. That's in a couple of years, probably in a couple of months, hopefully, and then see where things go. Then
everything's looking up. Pierce O Leary.
That's it.
That's it.
Big bang on a lovely one. But we really, again, thank you so much for your time. In case anyone was wondering, we attempted to record an episode last week, just but Pierce actually took his time out to want to do it again, and we really appreciate you taking time out of your day again, and top gentleman, appreciate it.
No worries, lads. Appreciate it.
Wish you nothing but the best of luck, Pierce. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Great. I really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed it.
Looking for, and then your fight on the 16th or in town, be in the gaff with a few cans watching it. As Louis we'll be in the helm. Stick that on there, will it?
No, Pierce, fair play, man. Thank you for giving up that time.
Thanks very much for coming on, and best of luck in your fight on the 16th. Me and Tony will be watching, and who knows, when we're back in Dublin, we might even catch a point or something. Who knows?
Who knows? Hopefully. If it's on yours, I will, yeah.
Have a good evening, Pierce. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you.
Bye-bye.